Everyone, Matt Wenzel here with Kyle Austin, following Michigan State's 81-63 win against Notre Dame on Thursday night at Breslin Center. Here are three big takeaways. So, start, kind of a wild, crazy first 10 minutes for Michigan State. What'd you see from them to get them off to such a great start?
Oh, first of all, glad to have some company here, Breslin. But first of all, what I saw is about the best 10 minutes I've seen a college basketball team play, frankly. I mean, you go up by 20 against a good Notre Dame team in a 10-minute span. Really, I mean, I could go down the list of pretty much everything they're doing right. They're shooting well at 60%. They're playing that swarming defense, contesting really every shot. They got 12 of the first 13 rebounds, including they only missed 5 shots in the offensive rebound at 4 of them. So they're really getting opportunities left and right, shutting those guys down. They're moving the ball much better on offense than they had been. Miles Bridges, I thought, looked better. I mean, I could go on and on. I mean, but pretty much take your pick. They were doing it well, and they were shutting Notre Dame down. And I mean, it's what this team is capable of, the number of weapons that it has. I mean, I think people have been kind of waiting for them to put it all together. We'd seen good offense, we'd seen good defense. I mean, to me, that was putting it all together and then peaking as well as they can.
Yeah, and Mike Bray said before, you try to prepare for the transition and just could not match. You can't match their speed in practice preparing for it, and obviously that was on display early and often. So second takeaway, Jaren Jackson Jr. from Michigan State plays only 14 minutes. But after the game, both Mike Bray and Tom Izzo kept bringing his name up as a guy who had a big impact on the game. Obviously, foul trouble was the reason for only played 14 minutes. I matched up on Notre Dame with Bonzie Colson. What made him such a big talking point after the game for a guy that barely played a little more than half a half?
Right. Well, it's mostly defense, and it's part of it is because he only played that so much. That kind of allowed you to see how big of an impact he was having. I mean, he pretty much shut down Bonzie Colson for 10 minutes to start the game, and that was a big part of that 10-minute start. Bonzie Colson, by the way, preseason All-American, averaging 20 and 10 coming in. Great, a senior, great college basketball player. But Jaren Jackson just had that length that really bothered him. It really bothered a veteran guy. He blocked 2 shots. You could tell he was getting in his head just contesting everything. And that was a huge part, I mean, of Michigan State going out to that lead is Notre Dame's senior leader really being off of his game. And then Jaren picks up, his 3rd foul, he leaves. Bonzie Colson gets going a little. Picks up his 4th, Bonzie Colson gets going a little more. So that's kind of the reason people were talking about it a lot, is that it seemed like they were going to come back largely because Michigan State couldn't keep Jaren Jackson in the game. So I think that's part of his maturation too. I think Tom Izzo took issue with some of those calls, especially the 4th one. That's going to be part of his maturation, is learning how to stay in these games. He's going to have to get a little more crafty about avoiding these fouls. But boy, when he's in there and he's playing carefree, I mean, for my money, between that, between Luke May on Sunday, and between Marvin Bagley for Duke, he's already defended probably 3 of the top 5 power forwards in the country, and done a pretty good job shutting down all of them. So about as good a start you can ask for a freshman.
Yeah, we were just talking to him, and he said the knock that used to be on him was that he couldn't defend. He couldn't get out there and move his feet in space, and he was highly praised for that after the game, obviously. All right, so third takeaway, this is the second top 10 win for Michigan State in 5 days after beating North Carolina. I mean, this was a team everybody expected would be really, really, really good at the start of the year. You've seen them, you've been there for a game. What have you seen so far?
I've seen a team that I wondered how they would react to the Duke loss, because I didn't think they needed to hang their heads about that. That was a 7-point loss to a team that I think has shown itself far and away to be the best team in college basketball. I mean, not far and away, but easily the best team in college basketball early. And they've responded really well since then. I think, and I wrote this after Sundays, I think beating North Carolina the way they did, I think, taught this team that they can get over the hump, they can beat teams like this, and I think it's no coincidence they're able to do it again 5 days later. I think they're playing with a lot of confidence. I think they know now that it's not just on paper that they are one of the best teams in the country. I think that they know that their preseason hype was warranted, and they're playing with a lot of confidence. They have a lot of guys going. It's not the Miles Bridges show. I mean, Miles still didn't look 100% to me. A couple dunks, playing above the rim a little bit more, but he's not at his 20 and 10 pace. They're being very versatile on offense, and I think they're going to go in every game feeling like they can win, and that's not something that they had before. I think before they felt like they were a talented team that hadn't won big games. I think this is Michigan State kind of at its next step here.
And next step is Big Ten play, which remarkably starts on Sunday here with Nebraska, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, Michigan State's kind of easing its way in here, Nebraska and at Rutgers. So, you look at those 2 games, You look at December, which, you know, no really tough games in December, really. Oakland's probably the toughest one of Little Caesar. So you talk about where this team is, 2 back-to-back wins. They set themselves up for, if they can keep playing at this level, for a pretty good December, and they're going to be rolling, I think, going into real Big Ten play in January.
All right, everyone, thanks for joining us. For Kyle and Matt, and come back to mlive.com/Spartans for all your coverage.